Cheers, big ears. I'm home. I'm out of hospital. Boy, is that good drink. Woo, tropical fruit. How you doing? What have you been doing while I've been away? You've been behaving yourself. Ron Bishop's my name, from Timaru, New Zealand. Telling my life story. It's called True Stories in the Life of Ronnie B. And every day something happens to me. Another chapter in my life, and I've just gone through a real bad period. I got a duodenal ulcer, if you know what that is. But it's not just an ordinary ulcer, it's a bleeding ulcer. It bled on me. Bloody near died, I did. I can remember lying on the floor in the hospital in a pool of blood. The blood was just pouring out my mouth. And I've never seen doctors and nurses work so fast and so hard in all my life. Man, did they scatter. I was in an intensive care unit. I was bleeding to death. Yeah, sorry about that. That was my daughter. She rang up while I was doing the video. The phone went, because I'm videoing this on my Samsung Galaxy 3. And it's my telephone as well as my video camera. And my daughter rang up to tell us there's the barbecue at 3 o'clock this afternoon with my great-grandchildren. Okay, now, what was I talking about? Yes, every Sunday I come on and do a sermon. And my sermon today is about families. I thought I'd talk about families. Whānau, they call them. The Maoris, we got a race of people in New Zealand called the Maori race, and they call their family the Whānau. The Whānau is a big group of people, all related to each other in one way or another. Now, there are two types of whānau, or two types of families. There's your own personal birth family, that's your mother and your father, and your brothers and your sisters, right? They're your birth family. But then you have, if you get married or build a relationship with another person, you have what they call in-laws, okay? So you've got in-laws as part of your family as well as your birth family. And in-laws don't always get on with the outlaws. I call them outlaws and in-laws. But anyway, they become jealous. People become jealous, especially mother-in-laws get very jealous, protecting their daughters or their sons from the new person that's moved into their life, moved into the life of their child. And there's a lot of stories about mother-in-laws, grumpy mother-in-laws, and that sort of thing, right? Just a minute. I'm just having breakfast this morning. I won't be long. Just a minute. It's Sunday today. What is it? The 2nd of March, 2014. And I'm giving a Sunday sermon where I talk about religion. I talk about God. I talk about Jesus. You see, because I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian for a number of years. Okay? Now, what is a Christian? A Christian is a person who makes a decision to turn their life over to God, to ask God for help. A lot of people don't believe in God, and there's a lot of people that won't ask God for help because they think they can run their own life. They think they're the ones in charge of their own life. And a friend of mine just came up and saw me this morning, and I was talking to him about this, and he said, I don't need God. He said, I can run my own life. I know how to run my life. I don't need any spiritual person telling me what to do. Well, that's okay. That's his belief. And if he's happy with that and his life's going fine, that's good, okay? But I can't do that, you see. It's too hard for me. I've had a hell of a lot of things I've had to go through, and I couldn't go through them without God in my life, without a God. And the other thing I've had to rely on is my family. I'm very fortunate to have a wonderful family. I've got some wonderful brothers and sisters. There used to be 8 of us. Used to be 8 of us kids, mum and dad and 8 kids. There's now only 4. 4 left. 4 of us children left out of 8. And so family is very important. And I'm married, and I've got 2 families. I've got Margaret had a family. Gus and Michael were my stepchildren, and they're part of my family because I married them, and I married Margaret, and I adopted those 2 boys, Gus and Michael. They're my sons. I call them my sons. They're not my birth sons. They're my in-laws. They're my stepsons, if you like to call it. But I've got 2 daughters, which are my birth daughters, Kerry and Sharon. And they're the most important 2 people in my life. Yeah, my wife is important, but she's not as important to me as my 2 children, because they are my blood. They're part of my blood. Kerry and Sharon are my 2 daughters, right? And they're most important to me. I put them before any other member of my family. But I don't put them before God. You've got to put God before family, okay? Family is important, but put God first, and then the family will take care of itself. So many families breaking up. Why do they break up? Because we live in a spiritual world. We are spiritual beings. And that is, we worship a God. Everybody worships a God. We want to love and be loved. And if God is not loving us, if we can't find God, then we go to the next best thing, which is the devil. And the devil is someone that comes into our life to steal our life, to steal. The devil doesn't like harmony. The devil doesn't like love. It's the opposite of love. God is love. Hate is the devil. Okay? So we have to become Christians. We have to be Christians to keep the devil away from breaking up the family. There are many stories where the family, I had a lady come and see me last night, come and saw me, and she said, you know, so-and-so's broken up because the man she was living with is an atheist. He doesn't believe in God. And he was putting all these terrible things into the mind of this woman, so they broke up. Okay? So you've got to believe in God. If you believe in God, you'll be a better person. Just a minute. So what is this about families? Why are families so important? Well, we come into this world with nothing, we go out with nothing. And what with the people we meet along the way, the books we read, and our experiences of life become who we are. But deep down inside us, we all want to know what's going to happen to us when we die. Because this thing called life, we know what's happening now, but we don't know what's going to happen when we die. And so many families break up or have arguments when people die, because they leave things, their assets to certain people, and some don't get any and some do, and a lot of arguments happen when people die. People seem to change their nature. The nature of people seems to change when there's money involved. Wherever there's money involved and it's free money, people's attitudes change. I remember, we've got it, just a minute. I've got a brother called Bill, bloody good bloke, mate of mine. Yep, But him and I have some terrible arguments. We're always at each other. He criticises me and I criticise him. And I remember when my father died, they had all these clothes, you see, and I went up to the North Island. I was from the South Island, and they lived in Mount Maunganui, and we went up to the home where Dad lived, and he just died, and some of his clothes were sitting there in the lounge, you see, and I said to Bill, my brother, I said, Bill, this jersey here that Dad had, would you mind if I had it? And he looked at me and he said, Dad's not even cold yet, and you wanting to take his clothes already. You see? I said, oh, duck you. Stick the jersey in. I don't want the jersey. I was just trying to be helpful. What's he going to do with the jersey? Going to give it to the Salvation Army or something? I just wanted Dad's jersey. That's all I wanted. But emotionally, Bill was upset. Right? He was really upset. Bill got upset another time. I had an uncle, Uncle Ted, great old fella, taught me everything I know about the bush. And he was a single guy, and he's a wonderful man. And he used to stay with us, live with us, and always, Uncle Ted was one of the teddy bears, you know. We've all got an Uncle Ted. Just a minute, there's the phone again. That was my daughter, my oldest one, Kerry. She's ringing up. She wasn't ringing up for me, she's ringing up for Mum. She wanted to talk to her mother. And I answered the phone because I'm in the middle of doing a sermon, very important sermon. It's all about families. And I've got families ringing me up, ringing up on the phone all the time, which is good. I love it. Anyway, I said to Kerry, I said, listen, I want you and your sister, because my other daughter is Sharon. She lives in Australia, in Melbourne, and she's home, you see, because I've been sick, and we've had our 50th wedding anniversary and that, and so she's come over from Australia. And so both my daughters, Kerry and Sharon, are in New Zealand here at the moment. Doesn't happen that often, but they are both here. And I said to Kerry, I said, I want to see you on Monday morning in my office at 10 o'clock. On the dot. My office, of course, is at home here, and this is where I do my videos and stuff. And you know what we're going to talk about? I want to talk about what's going to happen to me when I die. I want to tell them about my will. Right? Now, some of you that have been watching my videos will know that when I was 16 years of age, I accidentally shot my 11-year-old brother in the head with a .22 rifle. He ran out from behind a tank stand while I was having rifle practice with a .22 rifle, and he ran into the line of fire, and the bullet went through his side of his head and killed him. And he's buried in Wakatani cemetery in Wakatani, where we used to live, because we used to live in a place called Pikawai at Matata, which is just outside of Wakatani. And my young brother is buried there, you see. And one of the things that I want to do, because after shooting your brother, it's not very good. I had a mental breakdown later in life and stuff like that. But I've been all through that before. But what I'm saying is this. One of my requests when I die is I want to be buried with my brother, my 11-year-old brother, the one that I shot. Right? I want to be in the same grave as him. So he's in Wakatani. He's in a cemetery called the Hillcrest Cemetery. Trevor Wayne Bishop. Just a minute. Yes, he's there, all by himself, no other family, just in the grave by himself. My mother and father and my other brothers and sisters are all buried in Tauranga. But the boy that I shot is there by himself, and I want to be buried in the same grave as him. I've made some inquiries. It's going to cost $4,000 to dig him up and dig the grave deeper, because the grave's not deep enough. So we're going to dig him up when I die, and I'm going to be buried with him, right? in the same grave, okay? That's one thing I want to have happen, okay? It's my way of saying, sorry, Trevor, sorry for killing you. Yeah. And yeah, it's not going to be easy. But the children need to know that. My two daughters need to know that's what I want. You can put it in your will, but it's not the same. I need to tell them that, okay? And the cost is to come out of my estate, because I've got a few bob. My assets worth a few bob, okay? Sorry about this. I keep getting interruptions. There was a knock on the door, and I had to turn the video off and go and see who was at the door, and it was my neighbour, Kate. Lance and Kate Cowan live next door to me, and they're wonderful people, absolutely fantastic. Been really good to us during my illness. And she just came over to see how I was getting on, which was very nice. Okay? And so, which brings me to the question of friends. You know, you really know who your friends are when you get sick, don't you, eh? The way to find out how many friends you got is to get sick. And there's not a hell of a lot of friends. You don't have a lot of real friends. They say you can tell how many friends you got, how many go to the funeral. Some funerals are huge, aren't they? Because they're well-known people. But sometimes you go and there's only a few people, okay? But it's not the numbers, it's the quality of your friends. The quality. And I've got some wonderful friends. I've got some wonderful enemies too. A lot of people don't like me, but that doesn't matter. You're not going to get through life with everybody liking you. So you have to get over it. If you've got people in your life that don't like you, get over it. That's their problem. I've got family, I've got in-laws that don't speak to me anymore. Now I can't change that. There's nothing I can do to change that, except I can visualize them liking me. I can hold a picture in my mind of them actually liking me. More about that later. But don't get too stressed. If you've got family members that don't talk to you, forget them. They'll come back. Put God in your life. Ask God to mend the relationship. The relationship's broken with your family or your friends. Ask God to mend it. God is the only one that knows how to do that. You see, if you cut your finger, if I cut my finger, what heals it? And I go to the doctor, and the doctor puts a sticking plaster on it or whatever, or sews it up. Does the doctor heal it? No. God heals it. God is the only one that can heal your body. If you get sick, it's God that does the healing. The devil does the giving the sickness, gets out the sickness, but it's God that does the healing. If you read the Bible, you'll notice that Jesus went around healing people. And people got healed because of their faith in him. Okay? It's a good story, the old Bible. You want to read it sometime. Now listen, this is quite getting a bit long and drawn out, and some of you are going to be switched off. So I'm going to end this video now. It's about families. Put God first in your life, then your family, then your friends. Okay? Have them in that order. God, family, and friends. Okay? And things will be good. Okay? That's the only way you can battle through it. Behave yourself, won't you? A lot of you. I'm going to be back again. I'm going to be doing stuff, and I'm going to probably upset a few more people, and people will upset me, and all sorts of things. But I'll tell you about it, because I'm coming on every day, telling my life story. And another thing I want to have happen is I want someone to write my story. I'm recording it on video every day, and I want someone to go over those videos and write my life story. I want someone to make a film about me. Because a lot of things that have happened, right? Let's have a look at some of these illnesses for a starter. bipolar disorder, a mental illness which I've had for many, many years. I've beaten it. Prostate cancer. How'd you like to be told you got cancer? Well, I had prostate and I've beaten it. Then they tell me I've got Alzheimer's disease. Early stages of Alzheimer's disease. Not believing them. I've beaten it. I'm not gonna lose my memory. I've got a great memory. Now I've just been diagnosed with a duodenal ulcer, a bleeding ulcer. But I've beaten it. I got over it. I feel great. I feel fantastic. I feel terrific. Every day when I was going through the pain and the agony, I would say to myself, I feel great. I feel fantastic. I feel terrific. Every minute of every day I'm getting better and better and better. I was hurting. I wasn't getting better. I was hurting. But I kept saying, every minute of the day I'm feeling better and better and better. Okay? And slowly, with the affirmations and the visualizations, visualizing myself well, visualizing myself out enjoying life with my family, that's what brought me through. And my faith in God. Without Jesus in my heart, I'd never have done it. Okay? So my appeal to you, ladies and gentlemen, is the same every Sunday. If it's not working for you, if life is not working for you, you want a better, smoother path, become a Christian. Say to God, I'm sorry for all the stuff I've done. Hand your life over to Him. Say, please take me as I am and forgive me for all the bad stuff I've done, and become a Christian. Don't worry about the pride. People will love you for it. Find a new circle of friends. Okay? Christian people are lovely people. Okay? So become a Christian. That's your challenge. Okay? I love you all. Keep watching my videos, and thanks for the cards and the letters. Okay? Bye-bye now. See you later.